I'm delivering the bad news first, and it's a unilateral choice since I'm making the recording. And here it is. Toxins are ubiquitous. Every time you turn on your water spigot, there are microplastics and pesticide runoff and drug residue and heavy metals. Your carpets and mattresses, and even that tantalizing new car smell. Well, that's off gassing. Your medications, and even your supplements, which are meant to be good for you, have excipients. Your makeup and other health and beauty aids have phthalates and parabens. Every time you take a breath of air, there's particulate matter and carbon monoxide and methane and nitrogen dioxide. And of course, our food is absolutely brimming with toxicity, often in the form of refined or processed sugars, but also chemicals and preservatives meant to elongate shelf life. And of course, pesticides and herbicides like glyphosate that are sprayed willy nilly on crops and used as a desiccant. And this is to say nothing for psychological toxicity, toxic thoughts and fear and outrage that is uh, everywhere you look on the Serengeti of Facebook. So, unless you live on a deserted island, and I suppose even if you do live on a deserted island at this juncture, you are bombarded with toxicity. And so, what are the knock on impacts physiologically of that toxicity? Well, they weaken your immune system. Um, for example, like pesticides like glyphosate, we know that that breaks down those tight junctions in our colon, in the epithelium, that normally would prevent toxins from flowing into our bloodstream. But when you have leaky gut or intestinal permeability, that triggers the immune system and that leads to chronic inflammation that underwrites all sorts of chronic disease like cardiovascular disease and stroke. We know that heavy metals, for example, contribute to uh, gene expression such that certain tumor suppressor genes are turned off, and that can lead to cancer. Heavy metals can also contribute to dementia and neurodegenerative diseases like Alzheimer's. And then you have the more kind of prosaic day to day maladies like chronic fatigue and bowel disorders and constipation and sleep disruption. So when you have a significant toxic load, or what the Ayurvedics call ama, you begin to develop all of these chronic conditions. Now, here's the good news. The good news is that you pee and you poop and you sweat. Um, and there's a few thoughts that happen in between those things. In fact, that's pretty much life. Maybe a few shags thrown in there if you're lucky. Um, but these are the natural adaptive mechanisms for detoxifying, excretion, etc. And but if you are carrying too much ama, too much toxic load, your body and that ability to detoxify begins to erode and degrade. So if you think of like a river, when a river has a little bit of pollution, it can clean itself. But once it tips over and becomes heavily polluted, there needs to be some sort of invasive action. So there are certain protocols that you can adopt to detoxify. And what this really addresses is where the toxins often go. Now, toxins are lipophilic. That means they love fat and they love mucus. That's where they embed themselves. I'm trying to think, what else loves? I once knew a man named Lucas who loved him some fat and mucus. No, Jesus. Um, so toxins often store themselves in our adipocytes, in our fat cells. And even though you're the host for them, you're not invited to the party. And I guarantee there's nothing good going on there. Um, But like I said, you can adopt certain protocols to begin to detoxify, to upgrade, for example, your liver's ability to clean out toxins. So, for example, like your lymphatic system moves toxins out of cells and into your bloodstream and then down through your liver. And as a product of your immune system, there are these little Kupffer cells that detect foreign agents like toxins and literally consume them. They eat them up in this process called phagocytosis. So you want to keep your liver in really ultimate shape. So how do you do that? Well, one way to do that is to maintain a low glycemic diet. So you're not building a lot of liver fat, for example. You don't want to take in too many calories, especially too many of the wrong kind of calories, like a lot of sugar. Um, you want to exercise because you want to sweat. That's one of the primary ways that you expel toxins. You want to make sure that you get enough sleep and rest. Like there's the lymphatic system and that works with your immune system and your circulatory system. There's the glymphatic system that when you sleep cleans out the beta amyloid proteins that are often associated with diseases like Alzheimer's. There's other kinds of protocols like sauna and cold showers, so counter bathing, um, where you're dilating your blood vessels and then you're contracting them. And so that's stimulating your circulatory system. So lymph is moving around, picking up toxins and then being able to carry them to the liver where they get detoxified or expelled through feces and through urine from the kidneys. So there are a lot of these protocols. There's even ones that are seem like kind of silly, like loofah brushing, um, because your skin is this massive organ. It's the biggest organ, and your skin cells are dying all the time. But if you brush them off with a loofah brush, you're inhibiting the blockage of pores so you can more effectively sweat. So there's really a lot of agency that we have to combat this ubiquity of toxicity. And nobody knows more about this topic than Dr. Alejandro Junger, a brilliant cardiologist that then discovered functional medicine and Ayurveda. And I interview him on the Commune podcast specifically about detoxification and what kind of protocols that we can adopt to make sure that we are properly detoxifying and working with adaptive mechanisms within our own body that have evolved over millennia that help us move toxins through, help us pee and poop and sweat. So check out my interview with Dr. Alejandro Junger only on the Commune Podcast.